Alright, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg and I'm coming to you with my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 368, Era of Warring States. Okay, this episode was actually pretty awesome because we get to see like Hashirama, well how things turned out with Hashirama and Madara, and they show that, while Hashirama was having the conversation with his dad and Tobirama, Hashirama was pretty much like he didn't want to believe that, well, he pretty much was in denial that Madara was an Uchiha and that he could have been one of the people who killed his brothers, and the fact that his clan killed Madara's brothers, all but one. So it really sucked. Like, I felt bad for Hashirama because he was finally coming to the realization that they are supposed to be sworn enemies, but they had gotten so close over that extended period of time that they were friends, to where it was hard for him to believe that him and Madara could never really genuinely be friends, not in the time period that they were in. So, but Hashirama's dad pretty much told him that he was going to have to either follow Madara or kill him. And if he didn't, well, to make sure that he did so, Tobirama and him were going to follow Hashirama when the next time that him and Madara were supposed to meet. So Hashirama went to go meet Madara, as they always do, but they were on opposite sides of the river. And Madara pretty much said that he wanted to just skip stones. So they both pulled the stone out that was originally the others and skipped it across, and both of them had the same idea, and they both wrote a message. It was like, run and it's a trap, run away, blah blah blah. So they both, like, as soon as they picked up the rock, they took off running, and as soon as they like jetted, they show Hashirama's dad and Tobirama like, oh, they already know what's about to go down, or he warned him, so they jumped out of the bushes. And while they jumped out of the bushes, Madara's brother and Madara's dad jumped out of the bushes as well. So they all had the same idea, and Tobirama and Hashirama just didn't want to start a fight. So after that, while this was happening, Hashirama's dad and Madara's dad both like went at each other, and they were talking about how you're not supposed to let your heart guide you when you're on the battlefield, because that can be the difference between life and death. But if a parent were to see their child killed like right in front of them, it would make their heart waver. So they both had the same idea, so they both tried to take out the younger sibling, and Madara and Hashirama threw their rocks to knock the the kunais out of the way. Well, the kunai and the blade out of the way, so that way their younger brothers wouldn't get killed. And as they did this, Tobirama and his dad and Madara's brother Azuna and his dad all saw the rocks that they had thrown to each other, which had the notes on them. So Hashirama, I keep wanting to say Tobirama. Hashirama and Madara were both like, we're not gonna let our younger siblings get killed anymore. This is not okay. And Hashirama was pretty much like, so this means that we'll never be able to do all the things that we plan to do together. And Madara was like, pretty much said that this will never be, because you're a Senju and I'm a Uchiha, blah blah blah. And as this happened, Madara awakened his Sharingan. So it kind of sucks that, like, it was the fact that, well, the reason why he awakened it was because he pretty much just lost his best friend. And it sucks that in order for Uchihas to awaken their Sharingans, they have to go through such like heartache, which is really sad, but like awesome and sad at the same time. But after all this, they show them like growing up, they were constantly fighting. And as all of this was going on, they show Madara and Hashirama as they had gotten older, They were like adults now, and they were both like their respective leaders of their clans, and they were in this huge like battle, and Tobirama killed Azuna, which is Madara's younger brother, and Madara pretty much just went crazy after that. And this was also when Madara, like on Azuna's deathbed, he got Azuna's Sharingans, which activated his Eternal Mangekyo. And Tobirama and Hashirama saw this the next time that they saw Madara, because he unleashed his Susanoo, which looked pretty dope, if I do say so myself, with the like, it looked like a samurai, like the samurai garb on it. It was pretty awesome. And him and Hashirama were fighting, as always, but Hashirama used his like big wood golem, and finally, after all of this fighting, Madara's back finally hit the ground during one of their battles, because they were never able to beat each other because they were so well matched, because they had fought together for so long that they pretty much know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and there was really no way for one to best the other. But Madara was finally bested, and right as Tobirama was about to kill Madara, Hashirama told him not to, and nobody was allowed to touch Madara. And pretty much he made his what's the word I'm looking for? He made his proposal to Madara again, saying that they can build the village together and all this kind of stuff. And Madara pretty much said the only way that he was going to ever trust the Senju was if he killed Tobirama or if he killed himself, and then he would trust them. So Hashirama wasn't going to kill Tobirama, so he put the kunai to his stomach and pretty much told all of them that nobody was allowed to kill Madara or anything. And then right as he was about to stab himself in the stomach, Madara stopped him. So later on they show like Hashirama and Madara shaking hands, and that's when the Leaf Village was created. And they built the Leaf Village where they had been sitting up on that big rock. Well, that was where the Leaf Village was created. And this was how the Uchihas and the Senjus finally got to be together and not fighting. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. This episode was awesome. I've been waiting to see this part of the manga animated because I loved that part. I love this whole arc in the anime. It's like literally just Hashirama talking about how him and Madara met and all this kind of stuff. And this episode was so awesome. Real sad at the same time. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much because, like I said, I already know what's going to happen. But for those of you who don't read the manga, I would love to hear what you guys think is going to be coming up soon. How do you think things... Well, you already know how things turned out between Hashirama and Madara, but I want to see what you guys think is going to be like coming up in the future. But as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.